And welcome again to Functional Wellbeing New Beginnings podcast with Michelle. And today we have Miss Glynnis Tatch. We here are sharing information with you. We are hoping that you like the information we shared last week and the week before, all about the digestive system. And is your gut healthy? That is our favorite question for the month of July, and we want you to figure it out. Is your gut healthy? How are we going to do that? We are doing that through understanding what is our digestive system, what is leaky gut, and finding ways to enhance our health through many true and tried tips out there so that you can start the healing process if you do need your gut to be healed. Welcome again, Miss Tatch. We are so happy to have you here on Functional Wellbeing. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me. I'm really excited about being here with you so that we can give the community some information about how they can have healthy GI system, healthy gut system.
Yes. And we talked last week about the digestive system, and we know now the digestive system is not just your stomach, it starts from your mouth all the way down to your anus. It's okay. We need to understand also that all and each and area has a part to play, whether it's your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestines, large intestines. We need to understand they all have a part to play in making sure that you have the nutrients necessary for your whole full body systems, whether it's for your liver, for your kidneys, for your lungs, for your brain. We know that if you have a healthy digestive system, we can have a healthy body and a healthy immune system. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
So today we're going to break down gut health. Everybody's heard this saying, I have a leaky gut or leaky gut syndrome, or I don't know what's going on. I think I have a leaky gut. I've heard that in different variations in the past few years because it has come about by doctors sharing information about leaky gut. We want to break it down for you even more to understand what is a leaky gut. We want you to understand that there are different things that may be happening to create this situation in our system. However, we want you to know that we are going to share with you soon in the next section how we can help these areas. We may even share some now today, but we want you to stick with us so that we can give you as much information as possible and ask questions so we can help you stay healthy all the time. Yes, or most of the time.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start now with giving you this information, and we really hope that this is going to be inspiring for you as well as helpful so that you will really understand what's going on in your gut. Like a lot of people are saying, even what is my gut, right?
Yes.
So a lot of times people don't even really realize that. But what's happening when you have leaky gut, and what it is that it's a problem because it really, first thing you got to know is that all disease begins in the gut. Your gut is so really important. And that's why Michelle took the time out first to even explain to you the digestion system. When you have leaky gut, you have several different symptoms. And there's been a lot of research done on this and what is leaky gut syndrome and what causes it and what happens, when you even have leaky gut. And it's all about the intestines. Like she talked about at the last episode, that it's a consequence, the leaky gut is a consequence of intestinal malfunction. And that's why it's so important to understand what's going on with your digestive system, and understanding that the proteins and the enzymes and everything in between that's happening in your intestines, it's all going into your bloodstream as you digest your food. And what happens is these proteins, if they are healthy, can help you to be healthy. But if they are not, that's what causes you to get the leaky gut syndrome, that then can cause you to have lots of other disease causing problems. So one of the symptoms, I want to just kind of give you an idea about some of the symptoms that are caused when you have leaky gut. And you may or may not be able to pick one of these out, but I will tell you there are
Mm.
several things that can cause you to have leaky gut, or that are the symptoms of leaky gut. So just think about these things. And if you see any of these, or you hear any of these rather, that I'm about to mention, and you can relate or they align with something that you have, or you know someone even who has some of these conditions, be sure to have them tune in for our next episode so we can actually give you some solutions to some of these problems that you may be hearing about. You may have the conditions of gastric ulcers, even joint pain. Say you have infectious diarrhea or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. If you have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, those are all part of inflammatory bowel disease. SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, celiac, cancers that are involved in your digestive system, colorectal or esophageal. Bet you didn't even think about this: allergies, seasonal allergies, respiratory infections, any kind of inflammation in your body, um, arthritis, leaky gut. You didn't think about that, did you?
Mhm.
Thyroid disorders, obesity related metabolic disorders such as fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. Sometimes it can even lead to autoimmune diseases such as lupus,
Mhm.
Hashimoto's,
Mhm.
MS, Parkinson's, chronic fatigue syndrome. You hear people saying, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired, obesity and weight gain. So leaky gut may not directly cause these symptoms or these conditions, but it's more that people who have gut issues are more likely to have a number of other health problems. It's really important because while the scientific evidence has not yet proven that increased intestinal hyperpermeability is actually the responsible for these conditions, it does strongly suggest that leaky gut, um, and these other dysfunctions occur simultaneously. It's really important, you guys, that you know some of the things about intestinal hypermeability. It's hard for me to even say the word.
I know some of
So,
these words are really, they might be sounding big and audacious, and we don't know what's going on here. But
mhm,
just to be mindful, Glynnis spoke about many different diseases, and there are much more that
mhm,
can appear happening. Skin conditions, rashes, right?
right.
A lot of these things can be happening. Migraines. Some people don't think that's something that could happen. Hair falling out. All these things are things that can happen if you have a leaky gut. And think of it this way. You have a strainer. Everybody know what a strainer looks like, right? It's a mash thing. You're straining seeds away from something. You want the liquid. So if you have this strainer and it has a hole in it, bigger than the usual size hole, when you pour, so if you squeeze in a lemon and you squeeze this lemon juice and you just want the juice, but the hole is big enough that a pulp came through, And some people might want pulp. So my son don't like pulp and stuff. So he was like, no, I don't like that. Don't get that out of there. All right. If it's the same concept with our lining of our small intestines and even our colon. If
Mhm.
it is, there is a hole too big, the particles, remember that hamburger we ate? If it is, it didn't get to break down enough to say it was supposed to break down into a three component chemical, and where it had this hole and it didn't get to break down and it was still a four component, when that leaks into your bloodstream, that is going to create havoc. How it's going to create havoc? It's going to create this havoc of your cells, your your white blood cells. They will be like, wait a minute, there's an intruder in my system. We need to get this out. It will create this, they will all come together to want to fight this intruder.
Mhm.
When you have an
Mhm.
intruder, you get what? They're going to be battling. It's a war zone going on there.
Mhm.
And if we have battling, then we're going to have inflammation.
Mhm.
One of the root causes of most medical issues going on internally is inflammation. But it goes hand in hand with digestive system. If you have an issue going on with your digestive system, either or, no matter what, they're going to create those symptoms that we just talked about. Many different things happening. We want to know that, okay, now if we created that hole and that strainer there, and you want the normal things to go through, good bacteria, bad bacteria, enzymes, low enzymes balance. Some people have tapeworm or diseases, bacterias, and different parasites come into play. This is a storm we created by just that one little hole. If we don't heal our digestive system, then we're gonna still have issues going on. But it's not a one and done thing because we're still living, right? And every day we're eating something, every day we're doing something. So we have to look at this as a lifestyle, needing to change what's going on in there so that we can create the opportunity of a heal gut and a system that's working to its best ability to give us the nutrients from the food that we want. So
Mhm.
leaky gut, it so people might think, I know some people say gut was just the stomach. They think it was a stomach. No, it's the small intestines, as Miss Glynnis said, and your large intestines too. Those two. I've heard of so many issues people having with those areas of their body, and they're not too sure why, how it came about, but we could actually figure it out and help our system through one of the most important things, the things we put in our mouths.
Mhm. Right, because we want to definitely protect that mucosal barrier. Because when
Yes.
that mucosal barrier is healthy, then we don't get that leaking that causes all or some of those problems, that I mentioned. Um, think about your diet first of all. There's so many allergens and inflammatory foods that we put into our body. So even chronic stress, some of these are underlying causes of why we have leaky gut. And when we have that leaky gut, that's what's causing all these things to, well, the things that we're doing to it, right? It's causing
Yeah.
that dysfunction in the mucosal barrier, which in fact, in turn, causes us to have the leaky gut. All right.
Yes.
So it's really important to know these things. Pre, if you're if you're knowledgeable about what to do to protect your gut,
Mhm.
then you can actually prevent leaky gut. Like even honestly, chronic stress can even cause you to have leaky gut. And think about, I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but even drugs, whether they're illegal drugs or prescribed drugs, can cause you to have leaky gut. And alcohol, okay?
Yes.
So many people think that, oh, it's just recreational, you can drink alcohol, but the studies are showing that women, no amount of alcohol is really good for women to drink in terms of their gut. And for men, no more than one alcoholic drink a day. And the less the best, because you guys, really, these kind of things are toxins. And drinking even our tap water, we don't know what all is in there. There's so many pesticides and things that we are putting into our systems that are toxins that can cause us to have leaky gut. So
Yes.
learning about the things that can cause these things, that can trigger these things, that can actually attack our mucosal barrier, which causes to have leaky gut, is really important.
Yes. And one other root cause that we I want to share with you is that of genetics.
Mhm.
That is the third root cause that all plays a part in how our body reacts to things or how well our body can get healed. Because I could have allergy to dust. Miss Glennis could have allergies to dust, but it would affect us differently.
I
It's called bioindividuality. Everybody is different in how things affect them. So we are not trying to share things that are to scare you, one. We're just trying to give you information. But we also want you to understand that in the next series that we do, we are going to break down more information in terms of ways to enhance or heal your gut, your digestive system, and in turn, it can help heal whatever inflammation that's going on, whatever autoimmune immune disease problem you have, may even mental health issues, stress, chronic stress issues. We are going to share some ways in which you can better yourself in whatever issues we have mentioned. Diabetes, some people have non-alcoholic liver syndrome, and some of us just walking around with these things and we don't even know,
right.
because not ladies will be like, okay, it's hormonal. It might be hormonal, but that may not be the root cause,
Mhm.
right? We want to find out what the root cause is and then work from there so that you attack the root, so you kill the parasite. Just kill it out, you attack the root. You don't just try killing, one or two things, because it's going to come back, and it might come back in a different way, and it might come back stronger. So we want you to understand there are ways that you can enhance your health through healing your digestive system and be able to do better with, I would say, nutrition. There are also mindset things that we can help you with, as well as physical activity. So those are the three things that we normally look at, and want you to know that this you can do without spending a lot of money. But if you need help, we can share that with you. We can find ways, find resources that you can get help with a leaky gut.
Yeah, and I do want to just, I want to share that leaky gut is not the one and all diagnosis. So when you go back to your health provider, I mean, and just know that the information that we're sharing with you is not meant to replace your medical provider, that you have as your professional doctor or nurse practitioner, health care provider. But we are here to, give you the information that we have learned from the research that we have done. But, I don't want you to think, oh, I've been diagnosed with leaky gut. No, leaky gut is the cause of some other diagnoses, but we can help you by teaching you the things that may have caused it and how to prevent it, or even how to reverse the
Yes,
effects of what has caused you to have those different symptoms from your leaky gut, possibly as the root cause.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so we trying to create a symbiosis between reducing deficiencies. We
Right.
want to have you to be effective and efficient. We want your system to be working on par. It's working well for you, no matter your age, so that
Right.
you would be able to be, healthy and have this healthy lifestyle going throughout. It doesn't mean that, as I said before, genetics is a root cause. So
Mhm.
sometimes we might be like, but I'm not getting better. What's going on? It might be something else. If we are genetically inclined to get diabetes, guess what? If you're not looking at what you're eating,
Right.
you're gonna get diabetes. If you're genetically inclined to get a heart problems, hypertension, some people genetically get migraines, chronic stress. It's something in your genetic makeup. There are things that you need, medicines that you might need to help you, but there are also other ways. We are trying to give you other solutions to help work alongside your medical things that you need to move forward. All
Mhm.
right. So it's a lifestyle we're trying to encourage here.
That's right. That's right. I
All
love that,
right.
Michelle.
Okay.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So we are thankful for you listening in. Next week, we are going to share with you ways to enhance your health through doing many different things, whether it's mindset, whether it's movement, or whether it's nutrition. We will talk a little more in depth on these three areas. And when you get this information, we don't expect you to do all one time, okay? We are just sharing. If you need help with these things that we are sharing with you, you can reach out to us and we can help you there. I want to say our affirmation. I want to end with our affirmation today. I am willing to trust myself. I am willing to trust life. I am willing to trust in the goodness of others. Trust yourself. Trust that this information that we're sharing to you is something good for you. And trust your life to be better at the end of the day by doing things to enhance your well-being. This has been Functional Wellbeing New Beginnings Podcast. We are thankful for you being here. We are going to have a live at the end of July, the last Thursday in the month of July. We're going to have a live. We're going to share with you where you can get to connect with us to have that live. And when you get on there, we would answer your questions. Now, don't come with no set of crazy questions with no doctor business, okay? Just saying, because I ain't no doctor. I'm just saying. But we would help you as much as we can. We would kind of wrap up and give you a summary of what we did all through the month in July. So the date will be July 27th at 8 p.m. Most likely it's going to be on Facebook, and we will share the link for everyone to know. Thank you so much again, Glynnis.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Yes. Pleasure working with you. Thank you, guys. We see you soon.
Bye.